about building a web dashboard built with Amplify Studio. Arvind is a senior software engineer at Power School. Um, he has over 7 years of experience as a full stack software development engineer, and he currently works on projects with cloud native solutions in AWS built using CDK, TypeScript, and React. Besides this, he's also a community builder. Of course, all of you know, loves serverless and infrastructure as a code. And he also likes contributing to open source projects and enjoy writing technical articles in series like AWS CDK 101 and AWS CDK projects 101 as well. So without taking much time, uh, Arvind, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Safdar. Thanks for the opportunity. And also good evening and good morning to one and all. So here today I would like to start my screen sharing and let's discuss about what I have built over the last 1.5 months. Okay. Let me know once my screen is available for you folks.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Yeah, here. So today I came to talk about stack stats. Okay, so basically towards the end of the hackathon, which is concluding the last month. Okay, I had an opportunity to build up a web dashboard for one of my open source contribution, which I made the same month. Okay, so I basically extended it and I covered it with the web dashboard. So let's see and walk into checking the functionality and understanding how does it help us. Okay. Uh, okay. I think let me just move on to the next slide. So here I think Safras has already covered it. So myself, senior software engineer. Okay, and these are all the other places where you can find me at Twitter as well as my personal blogs. Besides this, I also write articles about CDK. I have a bunch of those written in Dev2 as well as in my personal blog in Astnode. So feel free to check about it. Okay, now let's start to understand a basic feature of CloudFormation. Before understanding CloudFormation, why do we need to know about this? Basically, this is not the direct way business users to interact or try to build applications upon. Okay, but what happens is like every now and then they try to orchestrate by building various solutions using infrastructure as code. And whatever the way they choose to build their solutions upon, be it Terraform, Pulumi, or even direct CloudFormation templates, okay, even SAM CLI to develop a SAM, TOML file, and they try to build it out of it, okay, or even going with CDK approach with any language of their choice, they will end up going in the CloudFormation way, and it pretty much spins up a stack and that's how their resources will be provisioned. And what happens after that, it will be tricky as a developer, to log into the console and to check what he has deployed into it. Okay, that is because okay, now we are not actually using one account for our deployment, not even one region for our development. We have to uh, deliver our solution across multiple regions, and it could be also part of even multiple accounts when we have a master tooling account to deploy those information to multiple stacks. Okay, that can happen. Okay, in such a scenario, not every time we would be interested to navigate to the specific account region and check up on the specific service and eventually identify the stack which you have deployed. Okay, so it will be like a lot of navigation involved and you have to like end up there, and not only that, as a dev you would have been deploying this, or even a CI/CD pipeline would be doing it automatically when there is a git push or something. Okay, the thing is like not everyone in the team is getting involved when there is an event happening in provisioning the stack. That is something I just wanted to touch upon, to bring everyone, to notify everyone, like something is deploying, there is a stack mutation happening. Okay, go and check out or understand whether it is just completed a while ago. So to make this work, okay, I wanted to leverage a feature which is recently released. Okay, that is they have made available the CFN stack events. Okay, so these stack events will be generated whenever there is any stack changes and stack level changes, or there could also be resource level changes. You update a SQS, you delete one. Okay, that will come into resource level events. Even if you are trying to check the drifts happening to your stack, that will also trigger a CFN event. So all those CFN events will be like emitted then and there whenever a mutation is happening in any of your stacks, created in whatever the means it could have been started from. Okay. So by leveraging this CloudFormation event, I created a small project. Okay, so which is open source last month. Okay, so this is the info forwarder project. Okay, what I did here, it's like I made see, basically you can see, right? Okay, in the bottom. Okay, there will be a specific account or region which would be having some events happening to the specific stacks which they have delivered. Okay, and when that happens, uh, AWS will actually emit the events to the event bridge. Okay. Now what I did, I actually forwarded these events to one of my processing region. Okay. So this could be the same region where I have hosted my processing thing, or it could be the n number of remotes. Okay. So the bottom one will be the remote stacks. I mean the remote regions or accounts or whatsoever. It will be like forward into a single event bridge in my specific region, specific place where I used to going to consume these events. So I'm basically forwarding these events and then of course putting some queues and balancing it into my event processor. Okay, so before processing it, also like I made sure if there is some failures in case happening. Okay, maybe I'm trying to put it into the event bridge. There could be a lot of failures access. Okay, maybe I'm the throughput. I would have avoided it, or I would have breached it. By then my messages will be lost. I did even set up a fallback mechanism for a queue, and this will be writing it to the logs. At the same time, it will be emitting it back to the specific the processing region using SNS events. Okay, and that will be captured into the DLQ whichever I wanted to be, and then I will be pulling it into uh, the failed event logger. Okay, at the same time I can also like put this into the event processor, and there will be a continuous loop over there so that I'm not missing out on any event bridge events happening by me whenever there is a cloud formation event happening. So now I have this events coming into the processing region. I can uh, do some changes to it. Okay, I will do a little bit of processing transformation, and then I'll be putting into my DynamoDB. Okay, that till now. Okay, we just finding a way to channel all those events coming across various regions and just bringing all those into your uh, a custom master data store where you wanted that to be. So that was my actually DynamoDB. Here I have them now. Okay, when I process these events, I also make sure there is a way in which I would like to read these events. Not only me, there will be a set of subscribers who would like their events to be notified about. I first chose Slack. Okay, so by means of Slack, I built using API builder. Okay, I mean the message builder which comes with Slack. Okay, I designed uh, the schema for the message, the whatever way, the whatever the fonts and everything which we have to have, and I just composed the message and just sent it into the Slack channel. Okay, and there is two channels for me. Okay, one is for the error Slack and the other will be for the notification Slack. The error Slack will be telling me like whenever there is a failure, it used to directly notify me. Okay, there is a failure in critical deployment. Okay, and what is actually failed, you will always get it in your console actually. So you will find it in your console whenever you do a small deploy. After the deployment is complete, you will be able to get those notes. Okay, whether it is successful or failed. Okay, but even there could be also be a failure, those also has to be notified, and those has to be notified to the teams in general, not a single person always, because it's going to be put into a sad environment, right? Organizations, they normally have it in that way, right? So there comes a necessity for me to notify it to multiple members. So that's why I chose Slack, and I was using a Slack hook to build up a message and then throw it to the necessary audience, be it to the success thing for the successful delivery of the stack, or even there is a proper problem in my processor, it will notify to the admins too. So that's the little bit of architecture in it. Okay, I will also show you a sample of what happens. And so if there is a CFN drift event happening, when the drift event is complete, okay, it's used to notify me. Okay, so here you can find it like basically I have digested the events whichever is coming from CloudFormation, and I have already said like there will be stack level and resource level and as well as drift level events. I categorized them, and accordingly I will be uh, consuming them, and I will be preparing a message and posting it to the people whoever wants to read it. Here I natively like put it into a single Slack group, and it is up to the responsibility of the Slack app manager to put up a small workload to limit the amount of audience, and also like put it into whichever channel they require it to be. Here I put it into my personal workspace, and I was able to like link them, and I'm subscribing to all the notification which is happening in my development sandbox. So you can see there is every time there is a mutation, it throws up an event. Okay, it also like highlights me specific pages navigations already. So like it will be very much easier for me to like go and find it out. Let's say something has been deployed. Okay, I can just copy the link and just go there. Yeah, so here you can find it, right? So directly I was able to navigate it. Just do remember, like you have to be signed into that specific account, or you have to switch it to the right account to find those details. Okay, it doesn't come on the fly, but it just gives you a navigation. And if the default window is also the same for your end, okay, you won't have a problem at all. So this is the thing which I have worked on, the first part of it, which is the in forward thing, and that basically like gives you some deep links into where you can go and find your deployment assets, and even the critical resources which you want it to be, and even you can also find is there any drift involved for it, trigger a drift detection for it whenever you find something. Yeah, I can also find, I can trigger a diff detection for it directly. So I need not, do the hassle of navigating across, specific regions, of course, I have to log into the specific account. But after then, I can navigate to the right region with the same link, and I will be able to go to the right stack and check for the drift detection and all in this click of a single link. I can do that. So this is one thing, okay. Beside which, I can also tell you, like, certain complex screens which would requires, much of query filters to navigate to. Here you can see, right? I just navigated to here. I never composed these things for it to be available there, okay. Basically, it's a scrap stack which I have, and I deploy it then and there when I wanted to simulate this one, okay. But think of a business application where they have configured a lot of these things, okay, already. It will be very much easier for them to click their link and just land there and find their resources and everything available for them. If they don't do it in that way, they have to go to system manager, okay, and then like here I can do that. They have to navigate to system manager, and they will have to go to application manager, and eventually like they have to come to the right stack, identify that one, and they have to get into that one. Some little bit of hassle in navigation. That's what I want to resolve. That's what's the first thing I have did. So as you just seen, right? Okay, so this project, the first half of it, right? It consumes the events coming out from any stack deployment, triggered by means of various processes. Okay, so here I can see once coming because something just completed. So okay, uh, and then what I did, I just put it into DynamoDB. So this is the one half of things. Okay, and it's completed here. Then I did just extended it for the Amplify hackathon. Okay, there I wanted to make use of uh, the Amplify Studio to leverage it to build a dashboard to give a much more better experience, so that like come on, I have the data in the database now, DynamoDB. I don't know, I could have even easily like killed those records, okay. But I thought of there's no cost involved, no much cost involved. I do have currently like 20,000 items in it, okay, just in a matter of 1 week or 2 weeks, okay, and that's the number of items I have. I'm able to collect it due to my continuous deployments I do with CDK. And these events could be terminated to live by using a simple TTL. But I thought like I can really make a good use case with that, okay, with that data available there. And then I just like uh, extended that one by leveraging DynamoDB streams. Okay, here like whatever the records, whatever the things which is inserted or updated in the DynamoDB table, which I discussed while ago, would be like triggering another action. Now here comes the stack test project. here the intention for this is to bring a web dashboard to see all those in action, to identify and go to the right and understand what are the events which has happened. Okay, so let me just give a little bit of brief. So what happened here? Here, I just showed you in the last example a specific dynamo table, which is nothing but this one. So here, uh, it emits the streams, and these streams will be made use of by the consumer stack. Okay, and this consumer stack would emit an event. Okay, at the same time, it would be able to identify the state of that resource in my amplify generated data store. This is another DynamoDB table just to understand whether I can emit the update event or I could emit the create event. It just identifies that and it will emit the right event. And it once again it comes to event bridge and based on the right rule, okay, and it can able to queue it up and put it into the lambda which is set up for the amplify thing, okay, and eventually what it does it's make use of the app sync, okay, which because I created this table with amplify model, okay, and that helped me access the data in this schema directly. Okay, now with cognito access, okay, and the static sites which is already deployed and done by amplify front-end deployment itself, now they can users can able to access it out. So all these things are done using amplify studio as well as the CLI to get the same thing. I'll just show you the code part of it, before which I'll just navigate to the UI board which I have built for this. So you can find it, right. So this is the screen which I have built. Okay, I'll just sign out. Okay. So here I have also enabled OAuth login so that I can log in with my social app. So I was able to get into that, and also these selections are persisted because of my local storage which I have set for it. So I was able to get that one, and moreover, I can find a bunch of stacks, different accounts, regions. I can filter anything and everything I want to have. Okay, so now those are removed. I can also bring those up. So a lot of things like that. And if it is a create complete, I believe it's existing there. I can click that and straight away navigate to it. Okay, yeah, I was able to land here irrespective of the region which I have set. Okay, currently I'm on Mumbai. It doesn't matter while it is navigating, it will be correctly going there. Besides that, every now and then when you deploy some stack, you will be getting a lot of events. Okay, if I just click here, you can find these events. Okay, what are the things, what are the resources promised, and what is the logic ID for it, the physical resource if there is anything exists. Okay, all those information will be registered chronologically, and you can get those for any stack whatever you chose. Okay, I just remove this because that's the first one. So let me just take one more thing here. I want to remove this one. I think there's a small problem here. Okay, sorry. Maybe I was clicking on that's when I build with Amplify, this is what one I noticed. Okay, you'll be having a lot of frames. If you are creating a complex object, okay, I'll just show you that one. Okay, you have to click at the right place. Maybe I have put it inside the child element. That's why my click never went in. Okay, maybe I can correct it out. So now I just cleared one of those filters, and by now, okay, I was able to see other Amplify generated stacks. Okay, these are stacks events which are emitted when I actually deployed my Amplify application. So if you see this, I have a bunch of stacks for that, and when it is deployed, it's used to mutate those information as well. So I can select one of those and just sign out, maybe access the problem. Yeah, so it's working now. So you can find, right. So be it creation or deletion, okay, it accounts for both the information, create as well as delete. Normally, you will be noticing only the first part of it while you are actually deleting or while you are actually creating it. So that's a problem. But here holistically, since I have a master database of all that, okay, I'll be able to list all the activities which has happened, when it has happened, and all that very easily in this. Of course, you can navigate to your AWS console and you can move to the events tab and you can find all those. But again, this is delivered to you without actually logging into the console as at the same time, like you can fetch it very easily from here itself. So I'll just quickly show you the Figma thing which I have done to, actually bring this thing into there. The view, whatever I wanted. So starting from the header cells, whatever the table which we are actually seeing, I was able to model it in Figma. Okay, Figma as well as Amplify is something like, I never have used at all. Okay, till last month. Okay, I was able to learn things very quickly. Okay, and yes, that's also user friendly. And I can say like both Figma, the learnings, it was steep curve, but anyway, like I was able to manage things and get those learnings done to create these components. Okay, one at a time. Even the selection checkboxes. Okay, the messages which I wanted to show and the layout and whatever the effects I would need, as well as like the components has a lot of variations so that these will be coming up. And also like I was able to give a small, just a single component view of how it will be looking. Okay, just putting everything in, and I was able to see that in the dashboard. When I have all this, okay, now it is like I can directly go to the Amplify studio thing. Okay, here is the studio, and I can go to my UI. I can go to my UI library, can sync all those changes, whatever I have done, and was able to get that to whatever the component I want. So I can see like, so whatever the components I have defined there, okay, would be imported here. And let's say like we'll choose something like stack status. Okay, this component, and I can configure. The great thing about here is like, I can shuffle with the data which is in the database to understand how that UI component looks like. I do know, like, it's not the best one to show up, but I just had a tight schedule and I had to bring this into action, and I was able to bring this component live. So here, like, I can model it in action, and then like I will be able to like bring all those into the. So in my amplifier project, okay, when I just pull all those, I will be getting all those components ready for me. So I chose a React project, and now I have everything available. What are the components I just have formatted? Not only that, okay, the designing and everything, I can even bind the model, and I can also pass some critical keys which I may require in the other stages. You just seen, right? I was actually like showing a table when I was selecting any specific stack. Okay, that requires the full stack ID of that so that I can get it. But I was not actually passing the full stack ID. Okay, but I can like bind that directly here. Okay, by just putting an exclusion for a small key. Okay, which I will be like configuring in my React just to bind those key information. And when I click that, it generates an event and it just shows the stuff. Basically, I wanted to show that in a model, and uh, maybe like a later point of time, I will be converting that into a model so that like you need not just scroll down and just check it out. This will be coming as a pop-up, and you can navigate across to that. So here, okay, you just seen the workings of it. Okay, before I just walk you through the code, I just wanted to start a deployment. Okay, so like as I said, like I'm currently going to destroy one thing, and at the same time in the right end, so yeah, one is available. So I'll create a destroy, and this is another environment. So I mean a different account, and I will create one event on that. You can see the events are emitted. Okay, I'll just quickly navigate you to my screen. So you can find it's a live reference. Okay, I can, because this is actually making use of the Amplify app sync. Okay, and app sync will be able to emit the subscriptions whenever there is any mutations on the model which I have already set up. Okay, and by the help of which I will be able to like have my banners coming up, okay, whenever there is the event happening, and whenever it is complete, I need to check my console at all. Okay, the events are happening, okay, and all this will be emitted and it will be lost, okay, no track of it at all. But uh, since the master data and the console which subscribes to it, okay, sends the notification in real time, and this will be updated. So you can find the notification for me in Slack, okay, that is coming from the event forwarder thing. So that also emits me the messages. This is the first part I was actually talking about earlier, okay. It will also have be having deep links for specific resources like Lambda and all that, okay. Okay, here it's completed. Yeah, Lambda and all that. It's not only limited for few resources. It is good to extend it, and I will also extend it in the coming work because it's also already open sourced, and that can be extended. Okay, one other stack also completed, and I got the notification for me from the CLI. But at the same time, okay, you can also find this the other stack also complete. Okay, so now I have something of a single dashboard. Even we can no one has to like do something about it. The events will be emitted, and whatever they have filtered for would be like thrown up into the screen as the right notifications. Okay, one way of engaging, let's like with this one. The other way of engaging would be with this one. Okay, this will also have the deep links into that. Okay, whoever wants to be the recipient of it, they can subscribe to this by making some corrections in the workflow. I mean the Slack workflow, you have to do some configuration for it, but it is up to the admin. But here in my personal stack, I subscribe to all the events which is coming in, and that will be a flood of events here, even for a single developer in this account. But just think about an organization enterprise account. There needs to be a workflow set up, and the admin can correct it so that users can like just subscribe to these specific stack events, that specific stack account, maybe whichever is coming from this specific account number, they can do that, all that. So here, like, what I try to do is like, not only the developer, okay, the team lead, the manager, and everyone who's looking into the mutations, okay, they will be having the instant update on whatever has been happening, and they will be also tempted to check it into the console, okay, when something happens. No one has to update them, okay, it's deployed or done or not, the CACD broke or whatsoever, okay. They will be having everything in the Slack for that. So that's the first part. And as you see, right, those events are embedded and those updates are in real time, and they have this is updated. Okay. The other part of things is like, as I have already said, like the sign out and sign in is using Cognito. I can also do a different user signing, okay, which is using Cognito user pools, okay. And all these are like, bound to the specific groups which I wanted, okay. In Amplify, that gave me the leverage to, classify into groups so that the right groups will be able to have the right privilege to access the data or whatsoever it. Not only that, okay, I do know like I'm building something sensitive, that's why I didn't never put it into the public yet. I do make use of amplify features like access controls, and I was able to put a restriction into the endpoint whichever actually published. So I was feeling a little bit secure in doing that one. Okay, hopefully like whoever is going to try out the endpoint will also have that capability. Okay, then we just move on quickly to the next part of things. So here, okay, I'm just going to navigate to the background of it. So I just showed you most of the components in the UI. Okay, whatever things. So if I just select it, I can get it all those things. Not only for this one, even the amplify stacks will have a lot of events. Okay, if I take this one, yeah, these amplify stack, as I started building it, okay, it has a lot of information. I mean, when did I mutate that, when did I delete something or whatsoever, okay, and all those information will be captured. Really cool. Also, like I will be also putting in some deep links here, okay, at the physical ID level, okay, like AWS console, and they can really hit that out just like I did here, okay. Here also you will have deep links, okay. It's limited to the type of the resource, and it is extensible as there is more standard, templates I find it, okay, that can be extended. Okay, quickly I just move on to the other things. Okay, as I said, like you can also put in a lot of environment variables to have something secure or that. Okay, I made certain secure things I was able to put into that. as I already said about the access controls, and I can do the monitoring for the website altogether. In total, okay, this is totally serverless, and I can have this website hosted or forever, and I just pay for whatever I just use. Uh, so as I earlier told you, right? Okay, I was emitting the events from the consumer stack, so which is the first one here.
Aravind, I think we are almost on time.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, uh,
Uh,
yeah,
like two, three
we
minutes, can I wrap it up?
sure, sure, sure.
Thanks, Sakrat. Thank you. Sorry for the delay if I have taken more time, but yeah, this I have made the blog post links as well as the GitHub repo available for you if you wanted to check that out. At the same time, I do have videos on that. Okay, whatever I just did. Okay, the backend workings, it's also available. Okay, you can also check that out. How I do the deployments and how the interaction happens between the event forwarder project as well as this one, so that I can do that. These will be part of the slides, and hope people can check it out. Just one thing I just missed out here would be like the code part. Okay, so what's interesting I wanted to mention here is the summary of it will be like uh, two things I was able to extend very greatly. So one thing will be like I was happy to extend the API. Okay, the AppSync API, I was comfortable enough not only to create a model for the table whichever I wanted. I can also enforce a lot of access control, create indexes whatsoever I wanted, so that I can query it comfortably. Okay, all that gave him a lot of leverage. Besides which, I was also like, create a, template model which doesn't create a table at all, but it will like, put a custom query against my existing table also. So those configuration I can able to make, okay, by defining a query and then extending using the custom part. Okay, here I can also put in CDK to cover those create those resolvers for those things. And yes, so here I was able to like bind to the existing tables in the other project. I can also like connect to a specific local index. Okay, and that gave me a good way of efficiently filtering out. As I said, like I have 20,000 items in the table. I did not bother about it because I have the right keys in place to filter it out, and I can easily slow it with this approach. So this resolver is totally based on BTL, and I have set up all those BTL request and response templates to easily to do that. Okay, I'm sorry for taking more time, and open for any questions at the end, or happy to connect with you all to share more about this. Hopefully, the second part of the things would also come out as a blog or a post in the coming days. Okay, and thanks for this opportunity. Thanks, Saprat.